Alright guys, I'm back again. This will be a first in a long time. This will be two videos on the same night. Um, what I want to talk about right now with a lot of people, especially considering the work I was doing with Photoshop a minute ago, is doing logos and branding. If you're going to be in the game and do music, and your stuff is going to be out there eventually, you will need to have art material set up and ready to go. Now, no one coming out of the gate that's just starting to put music on SoundCloud is gonna look for your what's the word for it, the artist package you put together that has like your pictures and your band members and all that stuff together in it. But any more increasingly, imagery is highly important. People remember it, they see it, and that's what they start associating you with. And so creating a logo out the gate is very important. I would have normally set this up as a question saying, somebody give me your DJ name or band name or beat production name, whatever you use, and I'll do this video making your logo. The thing I'm thinking about is my process for doing this normally for a full term takes a long time depending on what you're doing. I got some examples I was going to show people of stuff that I've worked on previously. Now, a lot of these are not very good over here, especially because these were basic contact sheets of different logos. But these sets over here on the right here, we several of these have been our models for use that are actually possibly in development right now for my buddies in my bands here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so this one of these will be on a T-shirt here that will be sold before too long, and I'm pretty excited about that. So that's pretty cool. But whenever you're working on branding, like this is what people are going to remember you by. So you've got to work on something that you want to be able to make familiarized with you. Now, if you want to pay an artist to create your work, you can do that. But I don't know. As a digital artist and someone who likes art and media, I like doing all my own stuff myself because I also get to keep control over creative control over all the stuff. So we're going to use two programs right now. We're going to play with some stuff, and it's going to be Photoshop and Illustrator. And I'm just going to go through a couple things real fast and make a logo for myself. Now, what I normally do while hunting things down is I go to DaFont, because DaFont.com has thousands of free fonts. You got to learn how to navigate their site, and while searching, you can put your name in here or whatever you want to put in there to show it to you. And you can even search it by what's free and openware if you want to pay the person to use it. It's a great tool, and you can sit here and go through and look for, based on whatever you want the text to look like, to get a good base. Now, that's not saying you're not going to modify the text. Like even on the ones I just showed you a minute ago, those are a base font, and then I go through and make modifications to it like anyone should. But if you're just going to grab a font off the internet and use it in your name or use it for production material, it's pretty lazy, but hey, a lot of people do it, but that's also, then that's how everyone looks like they, especially when you look at a lot of new bands like that, like a lot of it all looks the same, looks like crap, and, we don't want that as musical engineers and people, if you're trying to get yourself out there and get noticed and you don't want to be a douche. So what you're going to do, I've already done this, I already downloaded these, so I could just jump right into this. Like on this one, I picked Zero's theorem just because I kind of like the angles on the letters that are going to matter for me, which are the D, the F, and the Z in my name, or my artist name, whatever you want to call it. You can click download. It's going to pop up. It's going to download. I've already got it here on my desktop. To install fonts, if you don't know how to do this, it will come in either .fnt files, the original ones, and then .ttfs or TTFs as well, or CS. I don't know if it'll come as a cascading style sheet or not. You just double click these, click install, or you can right click and copy and drag it or extract it into your fonts folder, and you go to search and go to fonts, and it'll find your fonts folder, and then you can do it that way too. And if you're asking me why my start menu looks weirder and different than all of your people's stuff, then it's because I'm using Windows 8 and this is Pocky, which is a program that's just purposely for Windows 8 to give you a new start menu whenever, because they get rid of the start button whenever you get Windows 8. It's rather annoying. So we're going to get these fonts installed that I want to play with. And so in Illustrator here, we're going to use Illustrator to make our base font here. So I'm going to make a whole new layer, grab this, make a text box. Damn it. Here we go. Here we go. Darth Vader. Z. We're gonna switch back to our tool here. I'm already at 72 point. I work as big as I can too. You use this little drop down menu and find the font that I just installed. 0 There we go. Drag her out there. Alright, look at that. And then click away. And we got this here. Now you can work with this just the way it is, but you can't really make it any bigger. 72 points is as big as really that Illustrator likes to play. I don't remember if I can probably put in here like 128, couldn't I? Yeah, I can if I wanted to. But it's also highly annoying to deal with doing it that way. The best thing to do actually is keep one standard copy. We're going to click Alt and then click and drag, and then bam, we got a duplicate right there. No right click copy paste for us. We're going to right click, create outlines for our font we just used. And not that I'm suggesting this, but this is also a way you can get around certain fonts have licensing things that don't allow you to use them. And if you want to get around that, you might be able to do it this way. I'm not suggesting it, I'm not encouraging it, but I'm saying it's very well possible. So I'm going to zoom this down so it fits within the borders of my 13 by 19 inch page here, which is huge. I work with really big files because the bigger the stuff starts, the easier it is to work with. The other thing about fonts and stuff like that on this, let's go over to Photoshop real fast to show people, in case you don't know and have no digital font working experience. Crap, there we go, Darth Vader. Let's see. Photoshop. I don't like dealing with text in Photoshop. It makes my life very, very difficult. We can push Control, and we're going to zoom, or Alt. We're going to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Alright, see how we're blurring here? See these pixels now? Like we can see the individual pixels on this thing here. Those are because this Photoshop works with raster graphics. Rasters are like real images, like pictures you take on your phone or anything else. Illustrator, on the other hand, does not. Illustrator works with mathematical precision and creates vector graphics. And vector graphics, you see, are nice and pretty and straight, no matter how far we zoom in. And this is actually as far as it's going to let me go. I'm at 6,400% zoom. They stay nice and pretty the whole damn time, and they will always stay nice and pretty. So all your print stuff you want to do, make sure you always keep vectors of everything. Don't ever just rasterize everything you have, otherwise you can put yourself in a bad position. After we have our outline here that we've created, I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna ungroup them, and then now I can group my words however I want. I can take Darth. If I want to group these, I can Control G, and now this is its own group, and then I click this, and this is its own group, and now this is its own group. Yay, move it all around. I can adjust them individually now, which is really what I want to go after to begin with. So I'm going to push Control Shift G, Control Shift G. We're going to ungroup these. And I'm going to take this and put it down here. I'm going to put this. I'm going to zoom. I'm going to make this bad boy bigger. I might get weird and quiet while I'm doing this, I'm sorry. I don't talk well while messing with other things sometimes. But I want to make this bigger. I want to make this F big because this F is another integral point in my name. So we're going to zoom that bastard in. And you know what? We'll just make that part of that. Grab all of these. Drag them down here. And what you want to ideally do is try to keep relative spacing similar if you can. You know, don't run everything into each other where it looks retarded. But you can definitely tell what looks decent just by trying, and because basic trial and error is always way preferable to anything else you're going to do in this industry. Say I want to do that. Make that's top even line. See this nice green line right there? I'm pointing at it with my finger, and I know you can't see that. That green line will actually save your life a lot because it allows it to it measures things and lines them up for you where you don't have to worry about doing it yourself. It is a wonderful tool. Yeah, that looks good enough for now, just for demonstration purposes. Alright, so now I have this new logo style that I've created. It's like, yeah, I really dig this, even though I really don't. What we're going to do is we're going to take control of all this stuff, and actually I'm going to take these two. I'll do the Z in a minute. Control C, we can copy, come back to Photoshop over here, Control V. We're going to import this as a smart object. And bam, there we go. Now, smart objects are not directly editable in Photoshop. And you see that it's its own layer, not versus text. And so this is still a vector as of right now. So we're going to push Control J, copy this, keep this other one. We're going to hide it so they can't mess with it. Actually, let's go ahead and we'll view it, lock it, so that way I can't hurt it anymore. We'll take this new one here, and we'll drag it down. And say, like, we wanna make some adjustments to it now. We're gonna need to click on click on the eraser, click on anything, and say this will need to be rasterized before continuing. Now we're gonna click OK. And now if I zoom in, now we have pixels where there are no pixels previously existed. What I'm going to do with this is do this the easiest way possible. We're going to use the blending options in Photoshop. First of all, however, I'm going to change my background color because I don't want white. No offense, crackers. Even though I am one. Let's do... That's pretty cool blue. Control-Shift F5. Oh, that is not what I want. Control-Shift Function F5. Haha. Damn it. Alright, never mind. Paint bucket. Fill. And we're going to take our logo here. And we're going to right click and go to blending option. Now blending options is where you can do almost anything you want with your stuff and then make it look pretty badass, and then that's all you really need. Like bevel and emboss. There we go, look at that. Look at that three-dimensional look, and all we did was push one button. Add some depth to this, give it some harder depth. All of a sudden start screwing with 3D aspects of it, the contour there. Just soften that up, make it blurry. But I don't like it soft and like that. I like it a little harder there. Not that I really care for a ton of this. To begin with, we add an extra darker stroke on the outside of that. Look at that. Beef it up a little bit. Also change the outline color of that stroke. We can make it, let's do red. I like red. Black and red, my favorite colors. Got a dark red there. Yeah, I'll put that. Change our inner shadows. It just gives it an extra little bit of looking depth to that 3D beveling we've got in the interior there. Contour up. We can add texture to this. I just got some carbon fiber textures I was using not too long ago. Let's do some CF. Carbon fiber looks pimp. Everyone likes carbon fiber. If you don't like carbon fiber, you probably don't know what it is. Bam, bam. Look at that pattern overlay. Looks pretty good. We can do an inner glow. I really don't want to. We can do outer glow. Outer glows always look pretty cool. Again, I'll go back over to red. Have some big red spread there. So it's like glowing red on top of itself. Good old famous drop shadow, where the words are hovering above our shadow. Can soften them up a little bit there, make them a little blurry. Yeah, I don't want to do a color overlay. I don't want to do a gradient. Well, maybe. Those are gradients I got to work with here. The gradient sets that I'm using right now are Photopan, or the photo toning. Yeah, that's right. But I'm not really a big fan of any of these. Oh, they're terrible. That's the look, like the metal looking one. I don't know. But let's just uncheck that box. We don't want to use photo. We don't want to use that right now. And alright, there we go. We got that. And I think it looks pretty good. I mean, this, if you consider for, what, less than 10 minutes worth of work here, we've created a decent looking, just a neat little logo. And now since I forgot the Z, I go, I forgot that Z. What am I going to do? Well, what we'll do is we'll drag it into Photoshop, Control C, Control V. Dump it right in there somewhere. Don't even matter where. So now I can make the Z a focal point. And It's like, but how am I gonna, copy all these effects I just did and make it look exactly like the other stuff? Well, simple. 3 clicks. Right click, copy the layer style, click your vector layer up there, paste the layer style, bam, look at that. Copies it straight across, looks like it didn't miss a beat. And really, for right now, that's all I really want to go through with this. We'll do a save as, we can do JPEGs, whatever we need to do here and get this stuff saved. And, that's what we would do there to finish this out. And, in that short time, we've created a new logo, and we can upload this to our SoundCloud or whatever we're going to use, or YouTube page or Facebook or whatever. But the thing is, just utilizing tools that are readily available and having the creative insight to design something. Now, make something that you're going to like, make something that's easy to work with and easier to reproduce in the future, make something that's going to be easy to print. Anything like, let's go to DaFont here. Some of these cool, gritty fonts and stuff, I was like, yeah, they look really, really cool. But working with them in bigger sizes, rastering, and and vectoring them out and working with them doesn't always go very well. And then you can get yourself in some deep shit. Working with solid tones and stuff like that, and then adding eroded effects through Photoshop is much easier than starting this way and then working backwards the other way, because then you have a much harder time. And with that, I'm going to conclude myself here. So thanks for watching this one. If you have any questions or concerns, or want any help with Photoshop, I'm a medium level user with Photoshop. I'm pretty good. I'm better than most people I know, but I'm no professional by any means. Illustrator is where my strengths lie, with vector graphics and designing vectors, like taking certain points on these letters and modifying them. It's like I really don't like how this A looks like this. It's like, man, I hate that, like that dumb divot. Let's grab that anchor and bam. All right, let's click away here, and oh, that looks like a solid A now. I like that a lot. It looks really good now. We can grab this. What is it? This anchor here on this E and do the same thing. That's close enough. Or it's like, man, I want to take this R and make it like a tall, little, something. I don't know, like just move it, and then bam, look at that. It's just what I want to do with this. It's like, what do I want to do to modify these things the way I want? And so, this having that creative control aspect saves you a ton of money, allows you to do whatever you want with it, and keeps you in the loop of doing things on your own. And that's what I really enjoy. Slight caveat to previous video I made. I told everyone my YouTube or my Facebook page was up, and nobody liked it or nobody joined it yet. And I was like, why the hell hasn't anyone seen this yet? Well, apparently I just published the page like 5 minutes ago, because there was this little bar here that says you have to publish this page before it's viewable. So apparently nobody could see it. So the Watch This Productions page, facebook.com/Watch This Productions, is now open for business. And I would really appreciate and like it if people jump on there to try to get a hold of me better. For some reason, YouTube's new layouts are not getting it to where it's easy for me to get a hold of who's commenting or keep track of who's commenting if I haven't responded, because I make a pretty good attempt to respond to every single person that makes a worthwhile comment on the YouTube page, and that for the most part has been the majority of the audience that's sticking around so far, and I appreciate that a lot. So if you want to jump on there and get a hold of me, I am more than welcome to, more than able and willing, and we'll get back to you ASAP. With anything that you have questions about concerning the Acid Fruity stage light now, but I'm getting ready to get rid of that too, and or just general mixing, mastering, beat making, whatever you want to talk about, I will be around, and you can find me there. And with that one, boys and girls, I am signing off for real this time in an expedient fashion. Good night.